for our great nation.
So I assume your grandpa, if he fought in the Korean War, was he in the army?
Yeah, he was in the army. He was a artilleryman.
And you said your other family member, he was in the Coast Guard.
Correct.
So why do you particularly choose the Marines?
So quite honestly, I was gonna go in the army, but the recruiter was a little pushy, and he really wasn't that cool of a dude. So me and my buddy told him to buzz off. And then a couple days later, we saw the Marines in the cafeteria, and their uniforms are way sweeter. And Marines have a reputation of being the first to fight, and the best branch of the military, and have a really good reputation for being great fighters. So I enjoy fighting, and so I'm joining the Marines.
Okay. Next.
Do you just hunt as a hobby, or do you do it for hunting the Carolinas?
So hunting Carolinas is the second guide. Well, hunting Carolinas, I did not start as a guide service. Hunting Carolinas started mainly as like a hunting information. My journey in hunting. I owned a guide service previous to this business, and I've guided for a couple other outfitters in the past. So when I sold the previous business and I started hunting Carolina, it was basically information in my journey in hunting. But I have a lot of people who enjoy hunting with me, so I decided to guide hunts on a part-time basis. I don't do a lot of hunts because I prefer to do quality over quantity. And then a little while ago, a couple months ago, a couple friends and I started the Reason Outdoors, which is the nonprofit where we take veterans and first responders and their kids hunting and fishing.
So I know you haven't been hunting for like that long, like 15 years or so. So how did you learn all of that about hunting and then have enough knowledge to start a website on it and with YouTube channels, Facebook pages, Instagram pages, and know how to do all of this?
So, no, I've not actually, compared to a lot of people, I haven't been hunting that long. Because when I was younger, really all we did was deer drives, and we considered that hunting, even though, it is a method of hunting, but not the one I prefer at this stage of my life. I really didn't become an avid hunter until I was in the Marine Corps, and I was in a Humvee accident, broke my femur and my back and some other stuff, and I was kind of sitting home feeling sorry for myself while I was recovering, and decided I needed to do something to keep my brain and my body occupied while I was recovering. So picked up a bow and started bow hunting, and then from there I just became obsessed with hunting. And so magazines, talking to other hunters, I always say I have no shame in my game, so I will go and interview. I'll go and talk to other hunters. Like when we're in Idaho, I'll stop and talk to local people, ask them how they do things. I have a lot of friends that hunt, and we used to, I really cut my teeth hunting, like learning how to hunt on Camp Lejeune up the road here an hour or two, and which is a very difficult terrain to hunt. So a lot of it has been trial and error, a lot of research, a lot of taking a lot of the tactics and skills I learned in the Marine Corps as a recon Marine and an infantryman, and applying them to a hunting basis, and then find out what works and what doesn't work. And constantly, hunting is one of those things where you constantly got to search for knowledge to get better. So doing that stuff.
Was it what did you first start out hunting? Did you use, because I know some of the weapons that you have could definitely be on a military stand base, so did you buy a classic deer hunting rifle, or did you use one of those high-tech rifles?
So I first started hunting with a bow because I wanted to hunt traditional, more traditional, I'll say. So I started with a bow, and I honestly didn't shoot a deer for probably 4 years, so all I would do is bow hunt. But then I was at a pawn shop one day and saw a muzzle loader, and I was like, all right, that's pretty primitive, so I'll give that a try. So I bought one of those, shot my first buck with that. I still have that muzzle loader. I still shoot deer with it. And I thought to myself, you love anything that flings projectiles. So, if I could hunt a deer with a wrist rocket, I probably would, just because. But I have classic deer hunting rifles. I have lever action rifle. I have all kinds of rifles and pistols that I hunt with, and kind of, as I learned and progressed, right, and in some cases saved my money to get better equipment. I just kind of progressed things from there.
Did your explosion? Is that what took you out of the Marines?
It was a combination of things. So I was in a rollover, like I said, and then I was blown up a couple times, and then just from jumping out of airplanes and hiking up a pack and combat deployments and training and stuff like that, it basically broke my body down to the point where they said it's time for you to be medically retired. So I did about 17 years and a bit, and then I was medically retired, and here I am now. I still do some work for the military a couple times a year, so I still get to be around those guys.
Is that why, when you were in the military, did you use some of the similar equipment, like the thermals and night vision?
Yeah. So we use night vision and thermals both. Actually, the thermals are probably much lower quality than the ones they have now, or the ones that I use now. But I really started, learning how to use, move with night vision and thermals and stuff like that in the military. And then, as I kind of progressed in the military, as in the recon community, and from when I went in the Marine Corps, my first deployment, and then the second deployment was the invasion of Iraq. Right, we didn't have I had none of this gear that I have now. So the technology, because of the war on terror, progressed really rapidly. So that allowed me to, progress with it, obviously, and it gave me a very good base on what to start with. But I still, in hunting with thermals, like the gear that you guys use tonight, is not the stuff that I had in the military. So there's been a really steep learning curve because technology has advanced, and me as a hunter, I've advanced as well. So now when people ask me for a recommendation on a thermal, if you guys ask me, like I know that you asked me, what rifle and what night vision scope did you use and all that, now I can give you a very educated answer. And something that's going to fit your budget as well, if that makes sense.
Okay. Is that why you like hunting hogs? Because you get to use the thermals and night visions?
I like hunting, yes, definitely, because I do enjoy skulking about at night, hunting hogs and coyotes. It's definitely one of my most favorite things to do. I'm actually a whitetail aficionado. I love hunting whitetail most of all, but I mean, I think predators are right now probably about equal. But they're very challenging. In the military, when you go to hit a target or you're in a firefight, you're just trying to shoot, a person, right? And you want to obviously get them right here, but that doesn't happen a lot for a lot of guys. But with a coyote that's running in or hogs, right? You got to get them to come, coyotes, you got to get them to come close to you so you can hit a kill zone that's this big, right? Or on a hog, I still got to hit a kill zone this big, or I got to stalk them. If I'm hunting out west and I'm shooting an elk, the kill zone's only this big. So, it's a challenge, and I like challenges.
Would you consider yourself, for the antlered buck, would you consider yourself a trophy hunter?
No, not at all, because my primary focus is to put meat in my freezer, and then I'll go after antlers. Usually, I have 1 or 2 bucks a year that I want to go after. Like this year, I haven't laid eyes on either of them. One of them disappeared, and the other one just will not come out during the daytime. But that really doesn't matter to me, because the trophy is like in the eye of the beholder, right? So if you think that a 6-pointer this big is a trophy, then that's your trophy. If you think a 8-pointer this big is a trophy, then that's your trophy, Or maybe you shoot a spike horn and that's your trophy, So a trophy is up to the hunter who's hunting.
Yeah, it depends on what. It's not just all about the antlers. You get the meat too from it.
Correct. Right. And you can't eat antlers.
No, you can't do that. You can
Right.
admire them.
Right. Exactly.
So, Thank you for talking to us, Mr.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Good shooting tonight. Very proud of you guys. Just so everybody knows, these two gentlemen right here, all right, put coordinated shots on 2 hogs better than most grown men I've taken out hunting, and better than a lot of military snipers doing coordinated shots on a hit. So these two did a really good job, and they got 2 very nice spores because of it. So good job, fellas.
Make sure to go check him out at Hunting Carolinas.